Hi, my name is William Liu from the WAM Global team.
And I'm Will Thompson, and we'd like to welcome you back to News in New York.
So since our last update, we wanted to give you a refreshed view on what's happening here, particularly in the US, but also in global markets. We've seen the markets really recover from post-Liberation Day, where there was a lot of volatility. And we wanted to reassure investors that we continue to stay away from tariff-affected companies where we still continue to see a lot of risk. But we have used the indiscriminate sell-off and some of this volatility to find some really attractive undervalued growth companies, which we do look forward to sharing with you at the upcoming WGB webinar. Will and I have been quite busy. We've been on the ground, getting in front of management teams, attending industry conferences, and we thought it'd be a great chance to share with you some of our insights that we've received on the ground.
So one of the first themes is AI, and it's obviously something that you read about everywhere. But I thought the interesting thing was we're picking up the trend from companies that were not AI related. So when we're meeting with portfolio companies or prospective companies within the industrial sector or any sector, a lot of the CEOs were saying they're looking for ways that they could improve customer experience, and they're looking for ways that they could drive revenue growth. CFOs were talking about productivity, efficiency, and ways to improve process. It was actually the CFOs that I found said they were already having success. But it was interesting because this was in a time of macro volatility, and you'd think, well, are these companies seeing less demand, which means they're going to slow down their spending? In fact, they were increasing their spending on AI because they didn't want to be left behind. So Will and I would come back into this office and have a discussion, and we kept talking about, well, what are the platforms and products that these CEOs and CFOs are investing in? What do they want to use to help them drive their efficiencies and be able to use AI? And being the US, there are so many tech businesses listed on the NASDAQ that we went and dig deep and to try to find those ones which are going to win from that enterprise spend within AI. And in the upcoming webinar, we're going to touch on a few of those winners.
Definitely AI was a hot topic during our discussions and continues to be a secular growth thematic. One of the other key debates has been the health of the US consumer. And our feedback suggests that the US consumer remains relatively healthy. However, they are worried about a more uncertain future. And so when we talk to companies such as the CFO of Visa and the CEO of TransUnion, which are both companies which we hold in the portfolio, they both mentioned that May really saw a continuation of April trends. So there wasn't a deterioration in macroeconomic conditions. However, we know that the consumer is worried about the future. So despite this wall of worry, why has the consumer been relatively resilient? It's because employment has generally been quite good. There's been stable wage growth, and inflation has been relatively benign, even though it's elevated versus historical levels. And this is part of the reason why the market's really come rallying back. The reality is that the consumer has held up more resiliently over the last couple of months, and you've seen that in earnings results as well. TransUnion and Visa are examples of names that we hold in our top 20 positions in the WGB portfolio. And we're really encouraged with the feedback that we've received, and we think they're well on track in achieving their earnings growth target.
In summary, it's a really exciting time to be stock picking, and we're very lucky to be here in New York to have the access to companies. We're able to meet with the CEOs and CFOs all the time, and it's proving to be a great market to find undiscovered growth companies.
Exactly. We're seeing plenty of opportunity amongst this volatility, and we look forward to giving you a detailed update and answering any questions you have at the upcoming WGB webinar.